There was no soup. It was hot. I don't like that writing. It's a Business Pants Friday show here at March 13th Studios. Friday the 13th, featuring analyst Hall Matt Moscardi. On today's weekly wrap-up, AI job wars target women.
Yeah.
Uber finally starts to protect women from men.
Wow.
And tech bros finally admit they hate women. Yeah, I know.
I'm sensing a theme.
Yeah, our show today is being sponsored by Free Flow Analytics and freeflowanalytics.com, the only platform measuring board power, connections, and performance for free. Win. I know the new data set is ready.
It's done. Done.
An incredible amount of work. I mean, really, like just hundreds of hours of work. But
yeah.
when will it migrate to the very free?
By the end of this month, it's up on the free.
By the end of the show, you said?
This month, if the show. Well, how fast do you think we work?
Come on, let's do this.
That's right.
I was just hoping.
What are we doing today?
I don't even know what we do anymore. What do we do?
It's been so long. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. Story of the week. Let's start us off.
I was hoping after performing the show live in front of a big audience.
The other show, Proxy Countdown. Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping that would be it. I was hoping that we wouldn't have to do this anymore.
We could drop the mic and retire.
Yeah, right? But we have to keep going.
Apparently.
Let's do this. Story of the week. I only have 3 stories for you.
How long are they?
They're pretty long. But that's a celebration in itself. Let's start with the number one topic that nobody really wants to talk about anywhere, especially the business news, is war.
Oh, it's at the front page of every paper. What are they going to talk about?
Okay, but no one reads the paper anymore. Let's be except for like 7-year-olds.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. I only have 2 stories here, but one is a bit lengthy. The first one, Saudi Aramco CEO issues stark warning Iran war could bring catastrophic shock to global oil. That's the first headline.
You know what it won't bring a catastrophic shock to? Global
Renewables?
Solar energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't do that.
Well, you notice that every car manufacturer is like giving up. They're all giving up this year.
Congrats,
because one bloated president who hates windmills. Why are you giving up? These cars are amazing.
It's
Keep
unbelievable.
at it. Keep the marketing going. Keep making them better. Why are you giving up so quickly?
Donald Trump Quixote is running it like
idiots.
chopping down every windmill.
Idiots.
Meanwhile, the rest we could have been largely energy independent. We could be driving in cars that like sound quiet and drive amazing. And every one of you asshole manufacturers, unbelievable.
The second part is something that we haven't talked about maybe ever. Part of the problem is that the 2 companies that the story about are both private, and we can't really access them. They're not part of our database. I couldn't even really see who was on the board, who the leadership is. But I just wanted to mention this in relationship to the war. Prediction markets face questions on Iran war bets, from regime change to nuclear detonation. Now, these prediction markets have there's an opportunity for them to basically change our world order. When they captured Maduro in Venezuela, there was someone bet on this right before his removal, bet $30,000 in removal. There were 2 individuals in the Israeli Defense Forces who were reportedly indicted for using classified intelligence to place winning bets on the specific dates of military strikes in Iran. I mean, this list goes on. People might start making geopolitical decisions based on a bet they've placed, and if they have enough power to make these decisions, I mean, we could be. I don't know. It's an endless how horrible this could get. I just wanted to put this out there. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to take the opposite side. I'm going to say we should now put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
that's your takeaway. He is dead, right? So fine.
Look, the reality is,
I was never against Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame, by the way. Never.
there's insider trading. Like, we're gonna pretend that it's like really bad in prediction markets. It's kind of bad everywhere and always has been, right? Like it's not like it doesn't happen,
including like the New York Stock Exchange and
yeah,
NASDAQ.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we know for a fact that when the shutdown for the pandemic happened, members of Congress were selling stock and buying stock in different. They knew. If members of the committee knew, and Trump actually voided some of the like investigations and indictments around that, right?
Well,
so what do we?
The SEC is completely in control by the Trump administration. They don't look at anything anymore. Well, first of all, Doge fired everybody, but second of all, they don't care. They're not looking at anything.
No, I did hear that they are like investigating DEI at some companies. They're like looking for documentation because the real enemy is brown people. Like, let's just
and women.
clear.
Don't forget the women
and gays. Yeah.
How about this though? Okay, so there's two entities we're talking about. Kalshi, is that how you pronounce it? Kalshi.
Yeah, Kalshi.
And Polymarket.
Sounds polyamorous, doesn't it?
But listen how stupid this is, and this is where kind of our world is a little bit involved. We talk about the leadership and board members. In January 2025, Kalshi names Donald Trump Jr. as strategic advisor, right? And then
what's the strategy?
Who knows? 7 months later, the headline is Kalshi advisor Donald Trump Jr. joins rival Polymarket board.
Isn't that illegal? I think you can't join
right?
them.
I mean, what the hell is happening? His horrible 1789 capital, which gives you the chills when you think about. Imagine naming your capital company after 1789, like when women couldn't vote and slavery was a thing. I mean, that's just chilling.
It's Omid Malik. We covered this before Don Jr. was even involved in it. It was maybe 3 years ago when they launched, and I remember distinctly their like tagline was like creating the alternative marketplace for conservative values. All they wanted to do was have an entire separate capital market for the anti-woke. That was the premise that they were built
1789 pretty much says it all. That must be what MAGA refers to, right? Before, when like being gay was illegal, when women couldn't vote, slavery was legal.
Yeah.
They made at least a $10 million investment in Polymarket. Anyway, that's the first one is war. I'll move on from that.
Yeah, it's hard to really talk about that. All I can think is renewables. That's all I can think.
There's still the second category is AI and jobs. There's still a lot going on here. One of the bigger stories that we missed last week was that Anthropic just mapped out which jobs AI could potentially replace. They're calling this a great recession for white collar workers. They're saying it's absolutely possible. The most AI exposed group is 16 percentage points more likely to be women.
Oh, yay! That's good for news for us.
Yeah, and 4 times as likely to hold a graduate degree. So not only the educated and women. Usually the women are the educated, but yeah, they're the ones who are most targeted in this report.
Yeah, I love that we spent 100 years denying like women and people of color access to education. They finally get access to education to pull themselves
and we
out
devalue
of
the hell out of it.
Their shit.
We mock it.
And a bunch of white
we deride it.
College dropout tech bros
Yeah.
managed to find the only way to say, now that you're educated, we are going to fuck with you and make it harder for you. Because
I didn't even mention
it's unbelievable.
Polymarket, founded by college dropout Shane Copland. So anywhere you looked at something bad's happening in our culture, there's a man
college
dropout involved. Yeah. So I'll just read some of the other headlines this week. Sam Altman. There's a lot of this. Sam Altman admits. That's like the part of a new series. Is like we had Jamie Dimon says.
Yeah.
Now it's Sam Altman admits basically that he's ruining our life. Sam Altman admits AI is killing the labor capital balance and says nobody knows what to do about it.
Oh, I know. Call on me.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oracle expected to slash thousands of jobs as massive AI spending creates financial cash crisis. Layoffs are feeling awfully tempting for a lot of companies right now because of AI. CEOs are using one number in the AI age to decide how many people they still need, and that's revenue per employee. And that's not wrong, because don't forget, Jack Dorsey basically fired his whole company because he was focused on profit per employee. He wanted to get it up to $2 million per employee.
You know, the sad part is we used that number like 20 years ago at MSCI as a metric of like efficiency, and now I regret all my choices, because now these CEOs are they turned it into, that's how we're not let's improve the numerator, but let's decrease the denominator, which is the number of people. That'll make it easier.
I mean, if AI is so great, why wouldn't you want to keep your fully staffed and then just be even that much better of a company? What do you? I don't know. I don't understand what you're. It sounds like you're treading water. You're just saving some money. That's the goal. Like, what a dopey way to do. That's not. How is that a way to build a company long term? It's like such a short term thought.
When Dorsey cut what 40% of Block, the value of his stock alone, because it's a 1-to-1, he had B shares, it's 1-to-1 to the A shares, he basically made $600 million by cutting his staff, and he saved $800 million by cutting the staff.
Right.
So he basically pocketed the entirety of the gains from cutting his staff. So if you want to know why they're not staying fully staffed up, it's because you can pocket the fucking gains.
I have a Jack Dorsey headline later in the show. Let me just finish my headlines on the AI and job crisis. Patreon CEO says AI will be a bloodbath for the world's creative people unless tech companies pay up, which they won't. And this is a good thing for the world, right? Because we're going to subtract the beauty from the world, right? That's like, the environment's already in crisis mode. Let's get rid of the artists and all the creativity. This is a good combination, no?
No, what they'll remove is the commercial viability of anything creative, and those people will be in a basement shooting fentanyl. Like, that's what they're going to do.
Atlassian slashes 10% of workforce to self-fund investments in AI. The unexpected.
That one's different. That one. What's different about that one is they didn't cut it because of AI. They cut it because they want to take the money and invest in AI so that they can cut more people later.
Yeah, to figure out who else to cut. The unexpected 92,000 drop in payrolls is a clue we might be reading the AI jobs narrative all wrong. And then there's all these like worker pain headlines. AI is forcing employees to work harder than ever. AI job loss is breaking the psyche of workers, psychiatrist warns. AI brain fry is real, and it's making workers more exhausted, not more productive, new study finds. And then finally, I want to end on this headline as a segue to my next category, because Dambisa Moyo, Starbucks director, right?
Starbucks director, yeah. Yep. New Starbucks director.
We tried to cover Starbucks at our show at the CII conference this week, but here's the headline. Economist Dambisa Moyo says, CEOs must play a role in sustaining the consumer class as AI eliminates jobs. Now, that sounds great, Dambisa, but do you realize who these CEOs are? They are a bunch of boy college dropouts. They're not going to sustain anything. They don't care. I mean, I'm sorry, but she's right, but it's never going to happen.
She's right, but she also, because I read the quote, like the actual quote from her, and it was like very soft. Like she didn't want to say straight up, you actually need to pay people more to train them for whatever the next economy is. She was like, maybe you need to give up just a little bit in training costs in order to avoid, the worst of the consumer class. It was very soft. I mean, she's right, but she also can't say anything. She's on two boards. She's on Starbucks and Chevron.
She's on Brian
she go to Mike Wirth
Nichols' Starbucks board and Mike Wirth Chevron's board.
I mean, by talking about labor at all, she runs the risk of, Nichols trying to fight back against every labor union at Starbucks. And she's there saying, maybe you should train the people a little bit and take care of them. But
the bigger point here is that you can't put it in the laps of CEOs. You can't put it in a class of college dropout boys who have zero empathy.
That's correct. Yeah.
In fact, as I segue over to my last category, CII, I want to point something out. I wore a shirt to the CII conference that said the future is female CEOs, right? You know, this is something I preach here all the time. This is not a new concept if you've been listening to these shows for a while. Not a single person at the CII conference said anything. And then when the conference was over, I took a walk on the National Mall. I've never really been a tourist in Washington, D.C. I had at least 10 women, of course, only women, actually stop me and say they love my shirt. Like, I've never had anyone stop me for anything. Like, I mean, for nothing. And I was like, wow, this is. I kind of felt good about it because there was a governance thought resonating with the public, but the place I really wanted it to resonate, nobody cared. Nobody said anything. Anyway, I wanted to give that anecdote before I move on.
They're not going to say it. They're not going to say it. Yeah.
Why? Why? Why can't they?
What are they going to look at you and
They could say
espouse
something.
a view of something? That's forget
I mean,
it.
a stranger did. Anyway, let's go on to our last category. CII. We had what do we do at CII? What happened to CII?
CII, Council of Institutional Investors. We gave a
that's what
talk
it
there, but we
is.
went to a conference. It's a governance investor conference thing.
They should partner with Nintendo with WII,
Oh,
which they call Wii,
so
and they should
I
develop
like
some
this
kind of
idea.
fun game, right?
Yeah, this is all the ideas we need to send to them now. Yeah.
All right, so here are my related CII stories. A lot of the stuff that we kind of touched on during our live show that we did at CII, which will come out when? When's it coming out?
As soon as we get the file, we'll edit it. I think it's next week. It'll be next Thursday.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they already deleted that. But all right. Let's start with this one. Not a goodbye. This is what Adobe CEO Shantanu Narayan told employees after announcing his decision to step down. So this is the big CEO resignation of the week. He's been at Adobe for 18 years. He's stepping down. But he said it's not a goodbye because he's going to continue as the executive chair.
Yeah, baby.
So I give him full credit for admitting
saying
it, right?
out loud he's not
Yes.
leaving. Yeah, that's nice.
How about this one? Google hands Sundar Pichai a $692 million package tied to AI bets. This is a unique and horrible new version of CEO pay where it's tied very specifically to Waymo autonomous vehicle and the Wing drone delivery venture performance. What the hell is Wing drone delivery? I have no idea. They both sound horrible to me. This compensation structure sets a precedent for linking CEO pay to specific AI business units, right? Rather than the overall company. So here's how bad this is to me, at least. So now CEOs can either game their bonus by obsessively focusing on one thing,
Yep.
or doom the rest of the company by obsessively focusing on one thing, or both, right?
No, it's like, aren't we Vibe CEO pay now? It's
This
like,
is terrible.
but
So
that's what it
the
is.
company could be burning down. It could be horrible to stakeholders and shareholders, but who cares? I'm focusing on
Well,
getting my bonus for a drone that's going to deliver my matcha latte or something.
we know that it's bad for stakeholders because there was another headline you pulled this week that Waymo is costing taxpayers. It's apparently a massive drain on taxpayers.
Why? Why is it?
Because
it-
the Waymo is using, first of all, it's on public streets, right? So it's
Yeah.
using public ways to get around, but it also is like stopping traffic. Every time there's an error, police have to get called routinely to deal with if there's a Waymo issue. And when you have to send like an officer out to deal with an issue, if there is one, it's not like they can knock on the window of the Waymo and say, "Can you step out of the car, please?" There's nobody fucking there, so they literally have to like call up the company and they have to do like paperwork and someone has to tow it, and then the whole thing is a mess. And the cars largely work, but they're not saving anyone money. It's costing.
Well, the good
money.
news is they're putting people out of work.
I mean, that's the only thing that's actually
That's cool,
happening.
right?
The net gain is job loss. That's what it
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Another way to punish immigrants really is to take away jobs commonly associated with our immigrants. Next CII related headline: As You Sow files lawsuit challenging. Congratulations, As You Sow, for fighting back. We've been telling people to fight back forever. files lawsuit challenging Chubb's refusal to put shareholder proposal addressing climate-driven insurance crisis on company proxy. So they're basically asking shareholders at Chubb to they're asking Chubb to write a report talking about how climate change is basically gonna cost so much that it's gonna affect the company. I don't know how this could be excluded. The reason why it could be excluded is because the SEC doesn't do its job anymore. It's letting Chubb exclude it because the SEC, Paul Atkins, claims that they don't have time. It's too expensive.
He was at CII and was
unfortunately
complaining.
I flew in too late. I missed his. Did you see his speech?
No, but it was written up and he was complaining that like
I would have loved to be the only booer.
We don't have the time. Like these things there's so many of them. There's no time and all that
you
stuff.
Have time.
You have time. You make some fucking time.
Or hire some more people that Doge fired.
Also, P.S. Like what I love that as you said was fighting back.
I do too.
So kudos there, but I can see down the road where this leads because the way you have to fight back is these are state by state jurisdictions like lawsuits, right? So you can sue Chubb in wherever they're headquartered and you abide by not.
I think
the
they're
SEC
headquartered
rules.
in Chubb, Texas.
That's
city of
well,
Chubb.
but that's where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Chubb is in Delaware with everybody else, where Delaware's rules still at least have some flavor of shareholder rights. How soon is it before these lawsuits lead to these companies just saying, fuck it, let's go to Texas or Nevada and no one can sue us for anything and forget about it, right? Like we could do whatever we want.
You mentioned Paul Atkins giving a speech at CII. Again, this is our CII category for Story of the Week, where he whined about, he didn't have time and, maybe it's too complicated. It costs money. It's like, yeah, everything costs money, dude. I mean, I went to CVS to get some almonds. That cost money too, Paul. Should I not have gotten almonds? Should I not have?
No.
So the other person who spoke the next day, who is more aligned with my heart, Senator Elizabeth Warren, here's the headline. She's slamming the SEC as lapdog for Trump's billionaire buddies after it dismisses another crypto case. She said this SEC should not be a lapdog for Trump's billion. Oh, I already said that. But listen, she attacked Paul Atkins in her speech at CII, which was great. But that's the big point here, right? Because let's not forget what these decisions to exclude the shareholder proposals really are. They're a gift to the CEOs. I mean, that's what they really are.
Yeah. No. Does
anybody think cronyism.
No one thinks it's cronyism. Nobody's confused. No one's confused. They just don't know. Nobody knows who the. Like you ask the person on the street who was like, "I like your shirt," if they know who the chair of the SEC is, and they immediately walk as fast as possible in the other direction because that's the last thing anyone wants to talk about. But the fact is that the reason why the future isn't female CEOs currently, or like we're not on that path, is because
really
people like chair of the SEC makes it impossible.
CII, if you're listening, and I know you aren't.
No, they're not one of the 4 listeners.
If you invite us back to do this again, and I know you won't, but you should, here's what I propose next time. Let us do a show with Senator Elizabeth Warren and Paul Atkins. We could do it all together.
Oh, yeah.
We could sit together. It'd be fun.
I mean, we told the audience that we did at one time actually interview Vivek Ramaswamy. So,
stupidly.
Look,
all right,
we can tangle with anyone.
2 more on my CII story of the week. Live Nation. Elizabeth Warren mentioned Live Nation in her speech because they already settled the antitrust case with the Justice Department. Speaking of Crow News, it took like 2 days.
Yeah, well, 7 minutes later, there was the emails released that they are basically ripping off their clients too. Yeah,
and this is one of the more egregious. I mean, the whole country agrees that this is a monopoly that is insidious.
The worst.
It got settled in 2 days, and something that we were going to mention in our show that we didn't have time to. One of the board members there is a Trump administration crony, Richard Grenell, who was, been in the Trump administration. So, this is just utter nonsense. Finally, this peculiar one. I don't know if we got to the show either, but it was in our notes. It was in our script.
Yeah, we were going to.
Glass Lewis. I don't get. Help me with this one.
We're going to come back to this in my section. So
all right. So then I'll read
the headline.
I'll read the headline. We'll get back to your section. Glass Lewis recommends voting against Starbucks director over board level environmental and social oversight. That's so. Anyway, those are my three stories. Everything to do with CII. We spent the week at CII. That show is coming out soon. AI, jobs, horribleness, and the war. The war in Iran. The war in the Middle East, really.
I mean, look, I think it's indisputable that the war is the story of the week because
it's the story of my lifetime. Every year I've been breathing, there's been another stupid war. But yeah.
I mean, like, this was another one where we were like, we literally went to bed and woke up in the morning and Iran had been bombed for reasons that are unclear. And everything was supposed to be the war is going to be short. And now they're saying the war is going to be long. And now everyone's bombing everyone. And
what percentage
I'm pretty sure, look, I like a good conspiracy theory, but I'm pretty sure that this was cloud cover for Israel to continue fighting in Lebanon, not in Iran, because
and Epstein.
And no one wants to talk about the fact that Trump was not in the Epstein files, but we know he's in the Epstein
and
files.
the affordability crisis going on in America.
I mean, so great. And Trump just tried to spin gas prices going up as good for Americans. That's where we're at.
It's good for me. I have an electric vehicle. But let me ask you this. How many of these countries at war do you think are run by women?
None countries.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick AI jobs as the story of the week because it's more fun for us. All right, let's do Goodliest.
Like anyone cares what you pick anyway. Come on.
Why? Yeah, they do. They're writing this down.
They are writing it down.
Why is every story of the week so like painfully? I just feel bad about.
No, come on. I thought the CII stuff was good. I thought you were going to pick that actually.
No, I wasn't going to pick that. Nobody cared about that except for us.
All right.
What's Goodliest?
You go first.
All right. I have two. I like this specifically because of Nintendo. 24 states, Nintendo sue Trump over tariffs as refund fight grows.
I know Nintendo's been trying for years. Are they the 51st state? I know
that's what I love about that. I mean, first of all,
they beat Puerto Rico.
I love that the states are immediately suing for tariff money, but I love that the headline writer was like, "I'm going to mention 24 states." Nintendo, also Nintendo. Meanwhile, Costco's already done this, right? It's not like just Nintendo. Costco did this 3 weeks ago. The minute the ruling was out, they were already suing. They were already started.
Because the writer was playing Mario Kart while he was writing the article.
That's what I like. It's like there was another headline. Costco CEO Ron Vacris pledges to return tariff refunds to shoppers. So Costco's saying, meanwhile, some dopey shopper sued Costco to get the tariffs back. Vacris is saying,
I don't get that.
We're going to give you the fucking tariffs. We don't have them. Yes, you can have the fucking tariffs. Just wait a second. But I just like that. I love that the headline. I love that states are fighting back on the tariffs, and I love that the headline is like 24 states, Nintendo. I just love that.
That's weird. All right, what else do you have?
You want me to do both?
I can do one of mine.
Do one.
Actually, both of mine are good this week. And I know you'll say finally, what took you so long? But look, they're still doing it. Uber rolls out women-only option in the U.S. And yes, I cannot believe it took this long, but I still think it's a victory for women. I mean, to all the women listening, I don't know how you're not going to use the women-only Uber service. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I mean, I
wish I could use it.
Honestly, I'm like, is there like a camel only Uber that I can take where I don't have to interface?
I mean, I don't even use Uber. I use Lyft, but they're both kind of dual class losers. But
I don't like any of them. All right, my second one is Andrew Yang. Do you remember Andrew Yang?
He ran for president.
Yeah, Andrew Yang says. Now, he's not Jamie Dimon says. He doesn't get the same credibility, I guess. But Andrew Yang says we should stop taxing workers and start taxing AI.
Yeah, okay. Well, what does that mean? How do you tax AI?
That means the federal government or your states, no more taxes on your job, right? You go, you make income, you don't get taxed on any of that. All of the taxes need to be paid by AI companies for every worker. I like that. I like the cut conceptually. Yeah.
And mine is CEOs of failed banks would have to surrender pay under bipartisan plan. I can't believe it's bipartisan, but it's basically Senate legislation mandating clawbacks. I don't know why it's only in the banking industry, but I'll take it. I mean, it's something. It's bipartisan.
I don't care about bipartisan anymore. Like
There's also
Epstein was a bipartisan issue until the minute Donald Trump was president and in it, and then it's suddenly partisan. Like,
and
it's make believe.
Didn't they also pass this week by a large margin? I don't really quite understand this, so I'm not really going to delve too deeply into this. That they are trying to restrict institutional investors from buying housing. Isn't that another thing they're working on?
Yeah, that's another
really
thing they're doing.
It sounds good. I don't know if it's like political theater or if it's actually going to make a difference, but anyway.
I don't know if any. I mean, like 4 people have all the money. What are we really talking about? So,
all right, that's the good list.
That's
what's
good
the
list.
best? What's the best there? I think it's Uber.
I think it's Uber's the real life best.
It could save a woman.
I think 24 States Comma Nintendo is my favorite though. But
we don't do favorite. We do good list.
Let's go with Uber. All right.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Oh, here we go. I'm gonna take a walk while you do this.
There are 3 assholes this week.
Oh, that's good. Not too many.
And they are all the war on women.
Oh, great.
So part 1, part 2, part 3. Let's go with part 1.
You better be covering. I intentionally didn't cover Alex Karp because
here it is.
Okay,
number 1.
Because I thought you'd get to it. But it's pretty egregious. It's horrible. It's the worst.
Part 1 of the war on women is Alex Karp. If you don't know who Alex Karp is, he's the CEO and dictator of Palantir. On his board includes Peter Thiel, a man who's made an entire career out of hobbits and hating women. That's his entire life.
And warning about Satan, right?
Well, he the only person he said is the Antichrist is a woman, Greta Thunberg, who's fighting for like environmental justice.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
well, he's right about that, though. I mean, she's the devil. Yeah.
So here is what he did this week. The headline was Palantir CEO makes shocking confession on disrupting democratic power.
This is from the New Republic. Good reporting from the New Republic.
First of all, that undersells what he actually said. I'm going to read to you what he says. He says, Palantir CEO Alex Karp thinks his AI technology will lessen the power of, quote, highly educated, often female voters who vote mostly Democratic, while increasing the power of working class men.
I mean, just the phrasing it that way is just so creepy and horrible.
Here's the quote. Here's the full quote. Quote, this technology, by which Palantir makes it's just spy software. Like he's just like watching people.
It's war games, right? It's video game stuff.
So what they do, they're an intermediate layer of data. There's all this data out there, and they collect it, and then they organize it, and they effectively identify. Like if you want to identify a person, there's 75 databases you exist in, like your house or your car or whatever. They organize it, and they're like, that's that person, and then they match it with your photo, and they match it with all this stuff, so that they can just track you everywhere you go. And the only thing that you could do with this information is really horrible stuff. Like there's not. I don't think anybody ever thought mass surveillance does good, except for dictators. But this is what he had to say about his technology. This technology disrupts humanity's trained, largely democratic voters and makes their economic power less.
Before you get to the next part of the quote, this is a guy who is humanities trained.
He's humanities trained.
I mean, okay, he has a
like
BA
a master's in philosophy,
sociology, and anthropology. He's got a JD, which is really that's on the intersection of humanities, and then a PhD in social theory. I mean, dude, this guy is such a hypocrite. Remember, this is the guy who is against all elite colleges, and his entire board is elite colleges.
They're all Stanford except for one woman who went to Duke.
All right, keep going. So I won't interrupt anymore. Keep going.
And makes their economic power less, and increases the economic power of vocationally trained, working class, often male, working class voters.
Mm-hmm.
So he said working class twice. He's not
pandering.
Exactly. And so these disruptions are going to disrupt every aspect of our society. And to make this work, we have to come to an agreement of what it is we're going to do with the technology. How are we going to explain to people who are likely going to have less good and less interesting jobs?
And who's the we? Who he's talking about? Him and his buddies with testicles? That's what we're doing?
That's all. All he's saying is, how are we going to explain to women that they're all going to get fired?
Yeah, who's the we,
though? They should go be carpenters.
Who asked you to do this, Alex?
what kind of horrible,
anointed you?
self-indulgent, like, asshole does this? And what kind of board allows this to happen? On his board are two women.
Yeah.
A woman named Alexandra Schiff, who's an ex-Wall Street Journal reporter. She's actually the daughter of Tom Wolfe, the Bonfire of the Vanities author.
Yeah.
She is sitting there while he says, you humanities trained voters, we're going to fuck with you, basically.
Yeah.
The only reason why she has like a Nepo writing job of any kind, because she's left reporting and all she does is write books now. Her first book is a Silicon Valley book that she wrote in 2017, where she basically followed Peter Thiel and the Thiel Fellowship around. And it was this like semi love fest for, the lunacy of Silicon Valley and all that shit. She gets on the board because what? She's the daughter of Tom Wolfe and she knows Peter Thiel and he likes her? She's utterly unqualified to be on the board of a mass surveillance defense contractor. And yet she is. Meanwhile, she's there because she writes books. That's fucking humanities. Did you not think to raise your hand and say, hey, Alex, do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. Right? Like, if that's what you think this technology we're designing it for.
I love that you think that. I love that you think that he would listen to Alex anyway if she raised her hand.
Maybe he should listen to the other woman on the board, who I can't figure out exactly where she comes from either. Her name's Lauren Friedman Stat, who she only seems to post Palantir scissor reels on like LinkedIn. That's the only thing I can find of her.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing about her that
That seems consequential.
Else. She was a consultant. She was like the youngest partner at Accenture or something like that. Mm-hmm. The best I can tell, and this is like, there's no clear evidence of this, but the best I can tell, she's married to a man named David Stat, who is in Palantir filings for selling Palantir stock and is listed as a director at Palantir, but he's not on the board. So I don't know what he is.
It's interesting you say that, because Alexander Schiff is also, I'm reading the New York Times wedding announcement, is married to the managing partner at Iceland Capital, a company that invests in life science companies. And his father was the partner of an investment banking firm. So it's a connections thing. I don't know.
I've not figured out the connection here, but what the fuck are you doing? You are on the board of a publicly traded company. And I know you're sitting next to the guy who basically wrote a book like hero worshiping. You called Peter Thiel an actual god. You called him a god in your book. He's one of the gods. But fucking stop it. Do you think it's okay that Alex Karp goes out and effectively says our technology, a byproduct of our technology, even if it's not the intention of our technology, will be to disenfranchise highly educated female Democrats? What is that?
According to Free Flow Analytics, this data is mostly still about the same. Women represent 29% of the board at Palantir, and yet have a total of 3% of the influence. So maybe that's why. Maybe that's why what you're saying is
Thiel's a co-founder of this company, and this falls in the Palmer Luckey, Peter Thiel, universe.
Senator Warren mentioned Palmer Luckey too in her speech at CII.
Horrible white fucking dudes who apparently cannot get laid, did not get laid, cannot interface with the universe. I don't know what the fuck is the matter with you all.
That was horrible.
Stop it.
Can we move on?
All right, War on Women Part 2.
Yeah.
We're only at number 2. And this is the one you brought up. Glass Lewis recommends voting against Starbucks director.
I need help with this one because. All right. Yeah, you go ahead.
Well, here's the timeline. Here's the quick timeline. Starbucks in 2023, they have a proxy contest. As part of the proxy contest and part of the discussions with stakeholders, there's labor negotiations going on. It's a big deal. Howard Schultz actually leaves as a result of this. They set up a committee of the board to deal mostly with labor issues, but they sort of fold in environmental issues and it's ESG committees, effectively what it is.
Both super important at a coffee, drug company, and with I mean, those are both
It's
massive
big deals.
issues.
Yeah, they're big issues, right? But the immediate issue was labor, and there was some concern about. There's
Sure.
obvious concern
It's
about
still
labor.
an issue. Still an issue.
Yeah, it hasn't gone away.
No.
In November of 2025, so last November, this committee was dissolved, and
Yeah, Brian Nickel did it.
reclaimed all of the responsibilities that this committee had by other committees on the board.
Yeah, sure.
effectively.
But
like, that's what this is what Starbucks said. I'm just telling you what they said.
Okay, but more importantly, Brian Nickel became. I don't know that it's ever happened. Maybe many years ago, for the first time in many years, he became the first CEO as also chair of the Starbucks board, and got rid of anyone powerful around him, including Melody Hobson and Satya Nadella from Microsoft. So clearly he disbanded that committee. There's no other way of looking at it. He's the chair of the company and the CEO. No other way of looking at it.
The committee is lead independent director Jorgen Nudstorp. It is Daniel Servitje.
I have a Nudstorp sculpture in my garden.
No puns. That's
beautiful.
Horrible.
I bought it at MoMA. Yeah,
and it is a woman named Beth Ford. Okay, those are the three. Yeah. Those are the three members of the committee. Now, New York City, New York State, the comptroller's office, and New York State pension funds, and Merseyside, and Trillium, and SOC, a number of basically shareholder advocates and pension funds. Have gone and said, they put out exempt solicitations, which are filings, basically making a case. They're saying vote against Nudstorp and Ford. Ford was the head of this committee, and Nudstorp is the lead independent director and was on this committee. What on earth is happening? There's still a labor problem. There's still environmental issues. Like, someone needs to pay, be accountable.
I'm already a little uncomfortable. Nudstorp, definitely. I mean, Brian Nickel should be on this list because
that is the war on women part, because
he doesn't need to be on this board. Yeah, go ahead.
So I can buy the fact that Brian Nickel gets voted out as being chair. In fact, there is a proposal this year to separate chair and CEO, right?
Yeah,
that's 100% a yes vote.
I don't think he should be on the board. He should definitely not be chair. Yeah.
You can also have boards without CEOs on it. You know how I know?
Yeah, the entire continent of Europe does it.
Yeah, there's a continent that figured this out.
Yeah, and their trains are good, so they must know what they're doing.
So you could vote against Nickel. You could vote Nickel as no longer chair. You could vote against lead independent director Nudstorp.
Yeah, of course. I get that, yeah.
But Glass Lewis decided the only person worth voting against was Beth Ford.
I don't understand.
The only person they said to vote against was the woman who chaired the committee that was dissolved.
By Brian Nickel.
Beth Ford was like, you know what we should do? Dissolve the responsibility I have on this committee.
Take away one of my feathers.
There's no fucking way.
I don't understand this. And I know we ran out of time in our show at CII, but this is one of the things I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to talk to the audience about. I was hoping there'd be people from Glass Lewis or at least ISS in the audience. I think there were, right? And
yeah, there were.
If anyone is listening from Glass Lewis and wants to, you don't even have to go on record. You could just reach out to us anonymously. Please tell us. This is nuts. You look really, really not only misogynist, but you look stupid. How do you exclude Nudstorp from this? I mean, I get that everyone kisses the ass of CEOs. You're not going to vote against Nickel, but how do you?
Why?
How do you go against
boss?
How do you go against those very smart shareholder consortium and just focus on Beth Ford? That's nuts. You're nuts.
This is like the most Cracker Barrel-y thing to happen since Cracker Barrel. So Cracker Barrel,
it's worse, I think.
Gilbert Davila, who had the word multicultural in his bio, was the one that ISS and Glass Lewis decided should be voted off the board of Cracker Barrel because Cracker Barrel changed the logo from an old white guy to just the words Cracker Barrel.
Well, I didn't realize
Not a joke. That guy's scapegoated.
I thought it was just the MAGA movement against him. I didn't realize it was actually Glass Lewis and ISS who wanted him off too.
That's who they targeted.
Really? Not the CEO. Really?
No, not the CEO.
Oh wow.
So we're walking around.
What's
right
happening
now,
at Glass Lewis and
looking
ISS?
for scapegoats for these things that are happening that won't upset the CEO, the power structure. We do not want to upset the white male power structure where it exists. So what do? We recommend voting against Beth Ford, the Land O'Lakes CEO, who was the chair of the committee that was dissolved by Brian Nickel and lead independent director Jürgen Knudstorp.
Do you think it has something to do with Legos? Do you think that Glass Lewis and I just get free Legos? Because Knudstorp is the former CEO of Lego. It could be that simple. It could be.
I cannot believe it. And I looked at all the analytics. Marissa Mayer, the new CEO, the new director who came onto the board in the last year, she sits on another board with Brian Nickel. Glass Lewis did not say vote against Marissa Mayer because she literally sits on another board with the same guy. She's the lowest performer for TSR on this board. She's the most connected director. There's so many conflicts of interest between the CEO and that director and performance. But no, there's no performance metric that makes any sense of voting out Beth Ford. None. But we are targeting Beth Ford. The only thing left for me was she's a woman.
You should have known the optics on that, Glass Lewis. But I really think this is about Legos. I am a huge Charles Schultz, one of my heroes, wrote the comic strip Peanuts. There's a new Snoopy's Doghouse coming out from Legos in June. It's $90. I can't afford that. I'm sorry. It's $90. I think they're getting free Legos. I think that's what's happening.
That's the bribe.
Because I would, all have free if Legos. They bribe me with free stuff like Snoopy's Doghouse Lego set, I would vote out a woman.
I'd vote out whoever you wanted. Yeah. All right. War on Women Part 3, and this one's a speed round. This is a speed round. Okay, I'm just going to read headlines.
Yeah. What are the headlines? Go ahead.
Black women were disproportionately impacted by Doge cuts. A year later, they're rebuilding careers for themselves and each other.
Meaning, a higher proportion of them were actually let go? Like, that's true?
Correct. Oh. They let go more black women than anything else. They were
because Elon Musk and his bros thought that they're not there for their qualifications?
Let me tell you why. Because the next headline, this is the headline. I watched 6 hours of Doge Bro testimony. Here's what they had to say for themselves.
I actually saw some of this testimony. It is really hard to watch.
It is fucking horrible. Over the course of 6 hour long deposition, Justin Fox, a former investment banker turned Doge Bro,
Musk Bro,
refused to define what he believes counts as DEI, admitted he used ChatGPT to scan government contracts for terms such as black and homosexual, but not white or Caucasian.
I should be in jail for this. This is horrible. This is like a hate crime.
One of the grants he helped slash was not for the benefit of humankind before walking the claim back. He literally was using AI to search for the term black. You want to know why there's less black women? Because of this fucking guy.
Yeah, well, it's Musk.
Yeah, of course it's Musk. But this is what they did.
Listen, this is a hate crime, essentially. You're taking away people's careers. I mean, you know how difficult it is. We all know how difficult it is just month to month to stay on top of all the bills in your house, your mortgage, your kids, everything that's going on. He took away their careers because of their skin color and their gender. How is that not a hate crime, essentially?
We covered here that Nike was
horrible.
Is under investigation by the EEOC, the Equal Opportunity Commission, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and the woman who was the director, highest lawyer there. She, appointed by Biden, was a black woman, was replaced by a white woman who had 6 years of experience because, she was a black woman. That's it. She was demoted. There's no reason to this. This is literally just discrimination. It's naked discrimination.
Yeah. If you look at the pictures of these Doge Bros too, all the Musk Bros, they are the whitest, like
the most
they look like.
White.
I mean, I'm sorry, but they look like neo-Nazis. I'm sorry.
No, honestly, the uprising needs to start.
Even the haircuts are making me run for the hills. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the rest of the headlines. Why bringing your whole self to work is a trap, especially for women. Right?
Yeah, you can't well, one thing I do learn all the time from my coworkers in the past, and my even my wife, is that it's dangerous to be a woman at work. Meaning, if you share your emotions
or thoughts
or
problems,
you get targeted.
No doubt,
right? Every time.
No doubt. Former Goldman Sachs CEO says DEI programs are counterproductive, arguing you're branding the people in that program.
I didn't even click this one because it's like I need. Is this
Don't
Lloyd?
Don't
is this
bother.
Lloyd Blankfein? Blank head, blank mind?
Yeah, he's the only one. Yeah, left.
I don't need him as the expert on what DEI means or doesn't mean. I don't need.
Turns out I don't need to be mansplained what diversity is from Lloyd Blankfein.
I don't know who's even asking him, but I don't need your perspective.
And finally, climate change. Women face worse impacts as funding support falls short. So basically, they think
why is that?
In climate, a UN women-focused report warned that under worst-case climate scenarios, 158 million more women and girls may live in extreme poverty as a result of climate change. So those are your three. You got the speed round war on women. You got Glass Lewis Beth Ford recommendation, and you've got Alex Karp.
Dude, these are all. Can I usually I have a clear winner, but
it's really hard. Like,
Alex Karp admitting the game is soul crushing. Yeah.
Let me be clear. These are headlines from this week.
Yeah,
I didn't go back 2 weeks in your polls.
If we have any new listeners, or even if we have old listeners, or even if we have any listeners, I don't know.
No, we don't.
Everything we cover is always within the time frame of the last few days. Like every Friday show, there is a cutoff. The headlines have to start after the previous Friday from the Saturday. We're not going back for any of this. This is all new every week. Every tirade that Matt gives against a-holes, it unfortunately is happening every week. I don't know how to deal with this one because Glass Lewis is so incredibly irritating to me. But do you think they just made a mistake, or you really think this is about being a woman?
No, I think that optically they chose the head of the committee, and it was immaterial to them who the head was. They didn't care that it was Beth Ford. I don't think it was like straight misogyny. I think they were like, well, we're not going to vote. We're not going to say vote against lead independent director or the CEO. We don't do that.
Well, if we get invited back to CII, I'm talking about this one. So I'll give them a pass on this one. This Doge testimony is, I don't know that there's any, it actually might be, okay, look, it should be Alex Karp but maybe I'm going to thank Alex Karp for admitting the game, right? Yeah. And I think this is important. I wish these guys, these college dropouts, the Zucks, I wish they would actually admit their sinister plans, because then it would give the population at least a chance to understand what's going on. I think that the testimony around Doge and DEI, and really Doge means Musk and Trump. That's what Doge means. This is insidious. I mean, this is really, really bad. And I wish more people would pay attention to this. But this is awful. I'm going to vote for that. That's my vote for this week.
I
mean, any choice would have been
just
good,
for that one.
All right. Can we move on?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Well, what more do you have to say? Oh, music. I like music.
Sorry, we're doing headlines, winners, predictions.
I'm just excited it's almost over. This is our last show, right?
This is our last show
I think contractually, CII said, yeah, you can do a show, even though we don't want you to, but you're only allowed to do one more show afterwards. That's what they said. I'll go first. I actually have two headlines that say it all. I don't even have to give more information. Usually I'm like long-winded here, but just the headlines speak for themselves. We mentioned Jack Dorsey earlier. Jack Dorsey defends wearing love hat while firing 4,000 employees in pivot to AI. So I was like, no, that couldn't be true. I looked at the video. He was wearing a hat that said love on it. This guy is the worst. I mean, is there anything worse than this guy?
Yeah, everybody else.
Everybody else. All right. And the other headline, of course, this is, and I thank the headline writer for putting it so succinctly, because there were actually a lot of headlines about this, but this one nailed it. Shell CEO's pay jumps 60%. Despite profit drop and fatal accidents.
Oh,
that says it all, right?
Yeah, I don't need to click on
those. Are basically aren't those the two worst words for like a capitalist corporation, like profit drop and fatal accident? Aren't there the two things?
Well, the fatal accidents isn't.
They don't
bad
care
for
about
capitalism,
that, yeah.
But the profit drop is bad. All right,
what do you got?
My two. I just smiled at the first one. Ozempic mania has even Olive Garden and the Cheesecake Factory cutting back on portion sizes.
I was thinking about that.
Just made me smile.
I think we should make people who take Ozempic put a badge on them, so I know who's like actually like suffering through the having a good diet and who's just cheating with a drug. I want to know.
How about?
I do. I want to know.
This one made me laugh.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel sales traffic continue to slump months after failed rebrand.
Yeah, because it's not about the rebrand. The place sucks.
Yeah. This is a Fox News story.
Yeah.
Okay. Fox Business story.
Fox Business. Yes.
What I loved about this is they gave you the time frame of months after the rebrand.
But it's been failing for years.
If you literally just zoom out very slightly more than that,
decades.
This is the continuation of a fucking decade of no one going to that store.
Yeah, because Cracker Barrel
nothing to do with the rebrand.
I know they don't get out much at Cracker Barrel, but what's happened in the last 2 decades in America is a food revolution, essentially, where people, the chefs, the restaurants are creating some of the most amazing food out there, locally sourcing food from far, everything. There's TV shows with great chefs, and Cracker Barrel just puts like a big pile of like gray gravy on like a fried piece of like rough
meatloaf
chicken
with peas.
Like you suck. That's why.
Okay, if we're honest, America, at no point in our history did we ever like meatloaf.
Nobody
and peas.
wants to go to
Nobody
Cracker
ever wanted that. It made me smile. Who won the week for you?
My winner of the week, the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C. I had a chance to go there after the CII conference. Wonderful, beautiful, sad, tragic place, but everyone should go.
That sounds woke.
And I guess it's woke, but why is that woke? How is that woke? I don't understand.
Because they're like, wouldn't they have shown up in a Doge Bros search?
Don't even understand. Don't even just go to that museum, people. And then the coffee, I gotta tell you, the coffee at the CII conference, it actually wasn't that gross. Like, I gotta give credit. It was pretty good.
Well,
I didn't touch the food. I didn't eat the food, but the coffee wasn't bad.
Wasn't that gross? It's not really hard selling it.
Well, the copy here says was actually pretty not gross. That's what the writer said. What's your winner?
My winner is the Council for Institutional Investors, the spring conference. They got to witness us.
Oh, that's why they're the winners.
They won,
yeah,
because they saw Proxy Countdown, our other show. What's your prediction?
They got to see 2 sweaty idiots on stage.
One wearing a T-shirt who felt like he didn't fit in the entire time.
Someone actually reached out to us and said that when they saw me in one of my T-shirts, I brought a bunch of T-shirts with like stupid governance jokes on them. She was worried that I was going to disrupt her panel and start protesting. I was like, I was just sitting there.
Heckler. They thought you were a heckler.
Yeah. Predictions. My prediction is that CII loses our phone number.
All right, I'm going to predict. My prediction is a serious prediction.
Yeah,
go ahead. If you listened to the segment on the war on women, that's Holiest today.
Should.
If you are a listener of the show and you've got all the way to this point, start the fucking woman uprising right now. The woman uprising starts
CEOs,
now.
Believe me.
It absolutely has to. I'm totally done. Every white idiot tech bro,
need it more than ever.
Flaccid white man I'm done listening to, including myself. That's it. That's all we got.
That's it. That's like almost an hour of dribble.
I am your analyst, Matt Scardy. We are Free Float. Come get the data at freefloatanalytics.com. That's the free data. But guess what? There's a shit ton of not free data.
Yeah, you're creating an API, aren't you?
It's going to be in the API and Snowflake. But by the end of the month, you're going to have tons of it. You're going to love it. It's going to be fabulous.
I don't know that.
And come and see our other show, Proxy Countdown. You can hear the CII conference. We're going to release that sometime next week. You also can get shareholder primacy with Ann Lipton and Mike Levin. Go get that. Until then, good